you. Right over here.
Mr. Chairman, so sorry. Do you mind? I just remembered my questions.
Mr. Anchia.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Anchia. Let the record reflect that Ms. Hall is with us. Now proceed.
Thank you, Chairman Leach. Just wanted to run through a few provisions of your bill, and I'd like to just get your intent related to them. The bill authorizes anyone in the state to file what is called a qui tam action against anyone else in the state for violations of the bill, correct?
A qui tam action.
Yes. I was thinking of the restaurant. The person who files this qui tam lawsuit doesn't need to even know the person that they sue, correct?
That is correct. At its core, that's what a qui tam lawsuit allows for.
Anybody in the state could file suit against anybody else regardless of whether they knew them.
Well, that's correct. The essence of a
Okay.
qui tam lawsuit, I forget what the Latin was, is on behalf of the king, and so you can, when a law has been violated, any member of the public can bring a qui tam action.
Could someone outside of the state bring a qui tam action against someone in the state?
This law applies to out-of-state, to residents in Texas, Texas citizens who would therefore find themselves under the governance of our laws, including this bill, if it were to pass into law, and this would allow them the right to file a qui tam action against an out-of-state mail-in distributor or.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is the inverse, right? So the person in the state, are they subject to that action by someone whom they do not know that lives out of state?
Maybe I'm confused by your question. This bill would not allow someone from outside of the state. This bill applies to Texas.
I understand,
citizens and
but conduct
residents
that's occurring, right, within the state as well? Not just out-of-state conduct?
The conduct would be, the actionable conduct would be the commerce of, the mailing of, from out of state, one of these drugs that's outlined and defined in the bill.
So conceivably, someone from out of state could file suit against someone in the state for engaging in this conduct? For receiving, for mailing, for forwarding? I just want to understand the penumbra of these actions.
I'm trying to understand in what situation a resident of another state would file in a Texas state court a qui tam action
Against a Texas defendant?
against a Texas defendant. I certainly, sure, I guess that lawsuit could be filed. That is not the intent of the legislation.
Okay.
But yeah, there might be a case, as I'm kind of, my wheels are turning here, where if there's a if there's a Texas company, manufacturer, that is distributing and promulgating abortions in the state, they're already in violation of Texas law as it stands now. This state is meant to, in a sense, secure long-arm jurisdiction of those manufacturers and distributors.
Okay.
Outside of the state of Texas.
That's
in some
helpful.
cases outside the country.
So statutory penalties are a minimum of $100,000, is that right?
As provided in the bill, yes.
Yep. And costs and reasonable attorney's fees are included as well?
Correct.
Okay. And it subjects, again, just trying to get to the parameters of the bill also subjects manufacturers and distributors to joint and several liability,
That is
right?
correct, yes.
Okay. And they're jointly and severably liable for, and I think this language comes straight out of the bill, the wrongful death and personal injury claims, even if the Texas woman who obtains the abortion, medical abortion in this case, does so in another state where abortion may be legal.
Are the drugs mailed into Texas?
Correct. But let's say that the person in this case who is inducing the abortion does so in a state where it's legal, the very fact that they will have received the pills in the state would still make them liable, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that may include women who go to a doctor's care in another state if they've been raped. So just the very act of receiving these items in the state subjects them to liability, even if they go out of state to a state where it's legal and they're under the care of a doctor.
I'm confused by your question when you say it subjects them to liability. The woman who is receiving a shipment of abortion pills from outside of the state of Texas is not assuming liability on herself.
The manufacturer and distributor of the product, as the very fact that it is received in the state makes them jointly and severally liable, even if the person receives the abortion in a state where it's legal.
Chairman Anchia, what I'm understanding your hypothetical to be is that a woman gets online and orders an abortion drug which would be shipped from outside of the state.
Correct.
So let's say it's a manufacturer or distributor in New York, okay?
Fair enough.
They mail it into Texas, woman receives it in Texas and then travels to Louisiana or another surrounding state where abortion is legal.
Correct.
I don't know what Louisiana's abortion laws are. It's just the first one that came to mind. Travels to another state where abortion is legal and takes the pills there and induces the abortion there. That manufacturer distributor who mailed into Texas would absolutely still be liable.
Still be
under this
liable.
bill. Yes.
Okay. And again, a lot, and I'm not trying to be obtuse with these questions,
Understand.
Chairman Leach, but when we put these laws out into the world, the permutations, then the fact patterns out in the world are endless, right? So I just want to understand what the parameters are. The bill also subjects anyone who provides an abortion-inducing drug to a woman that same liability, right? What does provides include? What is the basket of things that provides includes?
In which section of the bill are you in, Representative Anchia? I just want to make sure you and I are operating off the same sheet music.
I wish I had this in computer form so I could do a find.
That's okay. So I think if you're looking on pages 3 or 4 of the bill, the word the operative words are possession, distribution, mailing, transport, delivery, or provision. Provision of an abortion.
I think I found it. It's on page 5, line 9. There's some language there. It says or provides. Sorry, page 5, line 9. This is section 171A.101, civil action for distribution of abortion. So and I'll go ahead and read it if that's okay.
Yep.
A person who manufactures, distributes, mails, prescribes, and then it goes on to say or provides.
Right.
What do you think? What is your intent on doing on including provides?
But the definition of provides would be the operative word in the English language. To provide would mean to give, to give someone something that they don't otherwise have. And so I'm providing you. It could be me driving from out of state.
Okay.
Inside to the state and providing you an abortion drug from outside of the state of Texas. That would be provides.
Let me give you a hypothetical. College students at school, one of the girls finds out she's pregnant. A roommate provides her that medication. Whether that's wise or not, let's put that aside. Would that subject the roommate to the liability?
Yes.
Okay. Does it include like a family member?
If the roommate provided it with to induce an otherwise illegal abortion, yes.
Okay. Does it include family members that may provide like a husband or a sister, a mother? Would they be included?
If a mother is ordering legal abortion drugs, which would otherwise be, or a father, a family member, or a friend would order abortion drugs, yes. So
Okay.
Because what you would be creating there is essentially just a straw man. It would gut the legislation if you created this liability, and it would be as simple as a woman just having someone else order it for them. And so anyone who's in that chain of delivery and receipt and provision of the abortion drugs to the woman who's actually undergoing the abortion, the chemical abortion, would be, I'm sorry, the medically induced abortion by way of the abortion pills, then yes, they would be in that chain of distribution.
Thanks for exploring that with me. I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman.